Hey gang, it's Joshua Bacarella here with your Lake St. Clair Fishing Report, brought to you by Sportsmen's Direct. It is Thursday, August 4th, and it's a muggy one out there. Man, we finally got rain here yesterday in the Detroit area, and I know some of you guys to our north and probably even inland a little bit are going, what do you mean finally got rain? We got rain, we've been getting rain. Yeah, you may have been getting rain, maybe even like 20 miles inland or 15, 20 miles to the north, but we have not been getting rain down here right in the Lake St. Clair area or Clinton Township where I'm at. Man, it's like the ground has been like rock hard, it's been like concrete, and the rain's just been going around us for weeks. And we finally got a good rain yesterday afternoon, and it rained kind of all night. So it was awesome. The grass needed it, the gardens needed it, and the fish needed it too. And if you are a cat fisherman, you're probably gonna really enjoy that rain, because that spillway was just roaring today, and what that means is the cats are gonna be in the mouth of that spillway. And one of our customers, Dennis, he's been catching cats down there at the spillway already, and I would imagine it's because of that rain inland. It still makes its way down the spillway, so it keeps the flow up. So he was taking advantage of that, but now it's really roaring. So there is going to be like every kitty in like within a couple of miles of the mouth of the spillway is going to be up in there feeding right now. So it's going to be really hard to fish right now with it rolling through like that, because all that algae that's been growing up on that Clinton River upstream will come roaring downstream, and it gets all over your lines and everything. So you actually have to wait sometimes for 12 hours or 24 hours for that volume to go down a little bit, and then then it's much more fishable. Also, what that water is going to do out there, not only coming out from the spillway, but coming out from just about everywhere, Black Creek and further up north, anywhere where you're getting some runoff, it's going to help to dirty that water up a little bit. And I've been sounding like a broken record for the last several weeks saying, water clarity's been really clear, but this is going to help a little bit. So it's going to add some stain to the water, and it's going to make it a little easier for you guys out there, so that you're not sticking out like such a sore thumb blowing over top of these fish in shallower water. There are smallies that can still be caught in 10 to 12 feet pretty much all year long on Lake St. Clair, especially up on that north end. You can still get a personal best up there. So I mean, there are some big fish that will hang out shallow all year. But yes, there is predominantly going to be more bigger fish out deeper water, 14 feet and deeper, out by the channels, out by the main shipping channel, over in that Canadian side in that 20-foot depths out there, actually a little bit over 20 feet out there in some areas by the weather buoy. But so 75 degrees is not like crazy warm that it pushes all these fish out. So, and that goes for the smallmouths, that goes for everything, the muskies, walleye as well. I mean, we still get the occasional person that comes in and tells us they catch, walleyes from shore, sometimes in the middle of the day, even in Black Creek in Metro. And I guarantee you that water back there in Black Creek in Metro is probably 80 degrees at peak temps during midday. So with that real warm water coming out of the marsh area there by Metro Beach. So, it's not that warm, but yes, it is a factor. Some of these fish move out, a lot of the bait fish move out. So yeah, in the middle of summer, fish tend to go out deeper. Early morning hours though, when the fish, they might come in and feed in the evening time, and you never know what you're going to catch really super early in the morning, because these fish will transition in and out on any given day. So they can move a couple of miles in a day if they want to, really easy. So if they got 12 hours to travel at, a couple of miles an hour, you do the math, they can be just about anywhere they want to be within reason. So anyways, so we got a lot of rain, so we're going to have some off-colored water now. The spillways are flowing, all that good stuff. Let's talk about the St. Clair River a little bit. My guys at the store have really been getting into sturgeon fishing, and they've been catching fish. They're really getting the hang of it now. They're catching fish almost every time out. Some big fish, or Nick Zemsta got a really nice fish out there, and I think it was like a little over 5 feet. Derek and Spencer been going out. They've been catching a couple of fish a night out there. I think Derek's nephew got like a monster sturgeon. They let him bring it in. It was just a beast. The fish was as big as he was. It's so cool. If you can imagine being a young guy or young man, you know, like say 10, 12 years old, or, you know, just starting out fishing, and you go out and you catch a fish that's as big as you are, I mean, talk about getting hooked, right? I mean, no pun intended, but really, it's just, you get a fish of a lifetime like that, and I think you're going to spend the rest of your life out there fishing for sure. And that's one of the things that you can do up there on the St. Clair River, is you can catch a fish of a lifetime. And if you notice from the pictures, that if you go online and you look in the pictures that we're posting here, I mean, these aren't in the middle of the night. Some of these fish are caught before sunset or right around sunset. So it's not one of those things like in the summertime, you can get off work, you can get a couple of hours out there. You can have a shot at catching one of these prehistoric beasts out there. And they come in all shapes and sizes. So it's really cool. It's just an awesome experience. Still catching walleyes up there in the St. Clair River and out by the channel. But you're not getting a lot of big fish right now. It looks like we got a lot of iffies in there. We got a lot of fish that you got to put on the board. So still some pretty good numbers of fish, but it just seems like it's a different year class right now that's out there. There's still some good ones mixed in, but there's a lot of small fish. So it doesn't matter whether you're up around the St. Clair River area or by the river mouths, or if you're down by the south end of the lake or out in the middle of the lake. It seems like we've got a lot of small fish that have moved up into the lake that really weren't there at the beginning of the year. So it's really cool to see that, because those fish are going to be 3-4 inches bigger next year. So I mean, we just got a great diversity of year classes right now in the system. Smallmouth fishing is still growing strong all over the lake. Like I said, guys are getting into fish in 10, 12 feet of water up there in that Anchor Bay area, and they're getting into fish, you know, out by the shipping channels. Like, it's the same deal for the walleyes and the smallies and everything. You've got a mixture going on right now. That water is not too warm for these fish to be in tight. It's really more of about the water conditions, and it's about how close of attention you pay to the details where you are fishing. So, and a lot of it's been about the wind too. I mean, we've had such crazy wind, lots of, you know, those south wind blow south 20 miles an hour, and then it'll turn around and blow out of the north 20 miles an hour. So those kind of conditions tend to keep, you know, really tend to direct where you can and can't fish out here on St. Clair. So I know we just lost a boater out here this week, and thoughts and prayers go out to their family. This lake is just, it is bad news. Okay, it can go. You know, you can have 3-4 footers out there in like no time. It can catch you off guard. If you get thrown from a boat, or you bang your head or something and go in, I mean, it can be bad, especially if you're alone. So, you know, use caution out there. Use some common sense. Keep an eye on the weather conditions. You know, you guys see I use these weather forecasting tools all the time. I use that Weather Underground, and then on my phone I use that My Radar all the time, and I'm constantly looking at the weather, especially on the radar, because I really don't trust these long-term forecasts. So that radar, it shows me where I got when I've got wind shifts coming. It shows me if I got thunderstorms coming or building. So it's just a useful tool out there to help you keep out of trouble. And it's a good app too for hunters and stuff too. So I really like using it. I'm trying to think what else I've got for you guys out there. We talked about smallies. We talked about sturgeon fishing, walleyes going on out there. Mayflies are done. I mean, I haven't seen mayflies now. Pretty much, we've been turning the lights on at the store, and I don't have any mayflies on the windows at all anymore for maybe the last week or so. So I think really the big hex hatch is done for the year out here. You might get little sporadic ones, but so for you guys that have been waiting to go out because you can't catch fish when the mayflies are hatching, mayfly hatch is done now. You can go back out and you can start fishing again. Muskie fishing is still going strong. Still getting some. I know Captain Quintano has been over there on that the Canadian side out there, and he's still been catching some really big fish. Let's talk about some other charter captains out there. Marcel's Guide Service. I know he's been going out. He's been putting a hurt on the smallies. Garrett Samsel's been going out, been catching lots of walleyes out there and doing mixed bags. He's doing walleye, smallmouth, and muskie guide service out there now. So with him, you could go out, you could get all three. But That's about it, guys. The temperature down here, we're in the studio, is pretty warm, so it's getting starting to sweat and get a little uncomfortable. And with that, we got some cooler weather coming in. Going to be hot, I guess, the first half of the weekend, and then hopefully next week maybe cool off into the lower 80s, and maybe we'll even start to see that water temp fall a little bit, which will be awesome. I guess a tip for you guys that are going after perch. One thing I have noticed this year is that, and I meant to bring this up last week, I don't hear anybody talking about going out in front of 9 Mile in those weed beds out there in 12, 14 feet of water. What's up with that? Those fish should be there. There's perch all over the lake. I don't see any reason why right now you can't go out there straight off of 9 Mile between 9 Mile and the Grosse Pointe Yacht Club out in that 12 to 14 foot range and catch perch right now. So somebody go out there and catch some perch and then shoot me some pictures and send them in to me so that you know, so that I can feel like a prophet or something. But those fish are out there. Trust me, they're out there. Go get them, and we'll see you in the shop this weekend. Hey, if you like this video content and you want to get updated as soon as the next video is out there, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon, and you'll get notified as soon as the next video is up.